guide. We burnished the foot of it. I'm going to use this little piece of rod blank here in the size D thread, hoping you be able to see this better. Now, I'll make 2 wraps to start my guide wrap. 2 circles of the blank right at the guide foot. Then I'll cross my thread over. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. It's a little clumsy. Now, I'll immediately start up the guide foot. Now, as far as tension, I say I wrap guides tight. I don't wrap them as tight as some people do. But tight and loose is a relative term. Now, you've got it just about right. Whenever your thread climbs up the guide foot, you can still move it around with the burnishing tool a little bit, but you feel pressure. And this is a tough one to try to explain on video. If you have it too tight, the tension will pull the thread down the guide foot as you try to come up it. You'll know if you have it too tight. You want it just loose enough that it'll climb right up that guide foot. Okay, let's cut the little tag end off. I wish there was some way I could demonstrate the tension I'm using. You can't be too loose, and you don't want to be too tight. If you get too tight, what I believe happens is the epoxy doesn't want to penetrate the thread the way it should. The thread will absorb some of it, but that's not what I want. I want the epoxy to completely encircle my thread. Okay, we just go right on down the line, just like anyone else would wrap a guide. Now don't worry about gaps at this point. I've got little bitty gaps in here. What I'll do is I'll come back with my burnishing tool and take them out before I apply my epoxy. Okay, now we want to put the tie string in. I found it a good idea to always have at least 5 threads over any tag end, either end of the wrap, to keep it from pulling out. Alright, we cut it off and pull it through. Now what I do is I get it snug. I don't pull it under. I get it right up tight. And I come back just above my pull string and cut the thread off. Then when I pull it through, I can see that it's going in a good 3/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, not 3/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch. I have plenty under there. I'm more than 5 threads under, and I don't have a nudge sticking up that I have to deal with later. Take all the little bangs out. I'm not going to worry about getting this pretty. This is for demonstration. Alright, I have 2 threads on the blank before I start up the guide. That's all I have. Now if I wanted this to be a longer wrap, if I wanted to put bands out here, I would do it after I put a coat of epoxy on this. I think, in my mind, I believe that people that are having problems with the epoxy cracking at the guide feet, I think they probably put in longer wraps on, because I'm told that is the major cause of that happening. I believe if you tried it this way, you might eliminate the problem. Alright, now all that's left to do is put epoxy on this, and I'll show you how I mix it and apply it. We might get another little glitch in the film here because I've got to change positions again. Have to turn everything off and move it. Okay, I'm going to get some epoxy on here, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of